Luckily, the Honor Band 6 didn't have anything to do with that specific disaster. However, it is a parasite harder dragging it through some serious hardship when you're compelled not to take such a large number of speeds yourself. In any case, a couple of long stretches of real activity and a month and a half of limping later, I have a very smart thought of how the Honor Band 6 holds up between both proper exercises and lighter everyday use. Between the big screen, shifted tracking choices, and 14-day battery life, this is ostensibly the spending plan tracker to beat. Design and build. The greatest change from 2019's Honor Band 5 is the leap to a lot bigger one. 47 inch AMO LED show, which runs nearly to the edges of the gadget. It's enormous, splendid, and bright without causing the actual tracker to feel excessively cumbersome. Additionally, the additional screen space makes the entire experience of moving around menus substantially more agreeable. The greater screen implies a transition to a case that is 43 mm tall. It's a touch stout at 11 mm thick, yet gauges a simple 18 grams. The body of the tracker is dark, with an Honor logo engraved on one side and a lone button on the other. The silicone lash is tragically non-removable, with a decision of dark, dim, or pink. I've been assessing the dark model, with as lively and utilitarian, yet entirely not precisely polished. There are certainly better glancing trackers out there, yet generally you'll need to pay more to get them, or abandon a couple of features all things considered. With 5 atm water obstruction, you're likewise ready to wear this in the pool or keep it on when you shower. As of now, it merits hailing a certain something. This is basically an indistinguishable design to the Huawei Band 6, however that comes in somewhat various varieties. Honor is a previous Huawei auxiliary, however was sold by the overwhelmed Chinese tech organization in 2020. The Honor Band 6 was in progress before the deal, however, so bears momentous similitudes to the Huawei gadget, and it merits considering both. Generally speaking, the Honor Band 6 is light and agreeable enough that it's truly been no annoyance to wear this basically day in and day out throughout the previous a month and a half, exploiting the waterproofing and rest tracking so that I've truly just taken it off to energize it, tracking and pulse checking. In spite of the small value, the Honor Band 6 packs in a thorough setup of tracking features. Other than the standard step count, it will perceive 10 sorts of activity: running, strolling, and cycling, curved, rower, and free preparation. That is, as a matter of fact, less than certain opponents, particularly when you consider that the outside cycle tracking just works with iPhones or Honor phones, and not other Android gadgets. The generally tantamount Huawei Band 6 goes up to 96 sorts of activity, which causes Honor's 10 to feel rather deficient. There's additionally the natural choice to empower programmed exercise discovery. This is in many cases a piece ropey, and the Honor Band 6 is no exemption. It's a decent reinforcement choice to have. However, I'd suggest beginning exercises physically if you would rather not miss the initial couple of moments of tracking a fraction of the time. While you can follow outside runs, strolls, and bicycle ride courses utilizing a going with phone, there's no inherent GPS here. There's likewise no NFC, so no desire for involving this for contactless installments. However, somewhere else the tracking is more noteworthy. Ceaseless pulse checking is accessible, driven by Huawei's TrueScene 4.0 sensor, and generally is genuinely accurate, giving outcomes in accordance with different trackers. This pulse data is additionally used to drive the Band 6's pressure and rest tracking. The previous gives you a score out of 100 at ordinary spans over the course of the day. Like most pressure trackers, it's all in or all out. Some of the time it appears to catch the ups and downs of my life, while different times I'm ripping my hair out attempting to hit a cutoff time while my watch screen claims I'm basically as quiet as anyone might think possible. Rest tracking is additionally programmed, diagramming your profound, light, and REM rest windows over the course of the evening and giving you a general score out of 100 each day. Tracking here dazzled me, frequently concurring with the Withings rest analyzer on the nature of my rest while beating the committed scanner and perceiving the contrast between me laying there restlessly and really dozing. Notwithstanding pulse, you can quantify your blood oxygen level. This is physically initiated, as opposed to constant, and a perusing requires 30 seconds or something like that. I'm less persuaded by the exactness here, however. Taking readings quickly in a steady progression, I got close to 100% followed by 86%, which is well beyond a typical wiggle room. At long last, period and ripeness cycle tracking are additionally both accessible. However, I'm apprehensive I couldn't realistically remark on those. Battery duration. Battery duration has forever been one of the areas spending plan trackers succeed, and the Honor Band 6 is really at the upper finish of the accomplice. Honor guarantees an all-out battery duration of as long as 14 days, with a 10-day promise for heavier use. After more than a month of testing, I'd say those evaluations are essentially beat on. This thing endlessly runs, enduring long enough that when you truly do get a low battery alert, it accompanies a weak feeling of shock. gracious, better believe it. This thing needs to charge sometimes. Charging is apparently much more great. The custom charger will plug into any USB port and connects attractively to the tracker. A full charge requires barely 60 minutes, yet the included quick charge tech implies that only 10 minutes on charge ought to net you an additional 3 days or so of purpose. Great, assuming you just find without a second to spare that it's running short. Programming. The Band 6 sudden spikes in demand for Honor's own custom programming, which truly implies it runs on Huawei's product. In any case, on account of the bigger showcase, this operating system is at its best here, with a lot of room on the screen to make each screen agreeable to peruse and explore. The single button is utilized to get to a couple of fast, easy routes and begin exercises. And in any case, you swipe up to get to settings, or across to move between the default watch face and screens, including your pulse and stress scores, the music player, and action objectives. I have my annoyances. The raise to wake capability isn't exactly pretty much as dependable as I'd like it. With no consistently in plain view choice, it very well may be annoyingly challenging to see the time in some cases. And keeping in mind that there is a don't upset choice that closes down cautions and the raise to wake. Supposedly it's basically impossible to plan this, so you'll need to physically turn this on each evening and off in the first part of the day on the off chance that you mean to wear the band in bed for rest tracking. There's not a ton of customizability, but rather there is a determination of watch countenances to look over in changing styles. However, only one of the default faces permits any further customization. On the off chance that that is insufficient, there are hundreds more accessible through the Going With application. Finally, please subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching this video. See you again next time.